Living through the same day hundreds of times can drive anyone insane, but we're sure some good times can be had despite repeating the same events a bunch. Which moments did we enjoy most? Well, sit back, grab some snacks, and let's find out. Hey everyone, welcome to 90s Nostalgia. Today, we'll be going over our picks for the top 10 moments in Groundhog Day. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to 90s Nostalgia, and hit the bell icon so you never miss any of our countdowns regarding everything 90s. That being said, let's get started. Number 10. Hostel Porkchop. One of the first times we see Phil wake up for a case of deja vu, he's utterly confused by what's going on, noticing how everything from the previous day is repeating itself. Trying to brush it off as a coincidence, he tries to ignore it since it could just be the lack of coffee. You know how it goes.
Would you like some coffee?
Yes, please.
Upon exiting his room though, he's greeted by the hotel manager and starts to hear words he's already heard before. That's when he's had enough coincidences and just flat out pins the manager to the wall as if to interrogate him, even dubbing him as Porkchop.
Don't mess with me, Porkchop. What day is this?
Number 9. Just your type. You ever wonder what someone you like thinks of you? I'm sure everyone's been on that boat at least once in their life. But for the most part, the experience can either make or break your chances of ever being with them. Phil really wants to be with Rita and seems to make it super obvious that he's into her, asking her a ton of personal questions that are meant to elude her into pointing out her type of guy, filling himself as every blank in her hypothetical answers. We're gonna take a guess here and just say he's her perfect guy, but who knows? Number 8. Dying sequence. One of the scariest facts about life is definitely the inevitability of dying someday, whether it's from aging, an accident, or other means. In Phil's case, death is no more than a temporary escape, a painfully wasteful one at that. His constant repetition of Groundhog Day led him to no longer take any day seriously, pushing him to test his limits in how many ways he can die before waking up again. Definitely not our favorite scene, given how sad it is. But did they really just let him take a toaster to his room like that? Number 7. No thank you? After giving his heartwarming winter speech, Phil goes off to do some errands, or in this case, save people that need saving. One of these people in particular is a kid that falls out of a tree, only for Phil to be there just in time to catch him. The only catch being that this kid just never says thank you, not even once for having someone save his life.
What do you say? What do you say? You little brat? You have never thanked me!
Who knows, maybe tomorrow will be the day. Number 6. French poet. Dates can go one way or another, but if you're able to redo them as much as you'd like, well, your chances of having a happy ending are pretty high up there. Phil kind of slips up when he laughs at Rita's profession, French poetry, saying it was a massive waste of time. The look on Rita's face says it all, which prompted a much needed retake. We're not sure how many times Phil's redone this date, but he shocked Rita, including all of us, when he began to cite French poetry out of nowhere, impressing Rita more than she could imagine. Number 5. A New Day. One of the most satisfying endings out there, seeing Phil wake up to an entirely new day was a massive treat. Sure, he was happy to have woken up next to Rita on a day that isn't Groundhog Day, but we as the viewers were pretty relieved as well, considering all the trouble Phil went through to have Rita fall for him. And it meant everything he worked towards in the last day was now permanent. Number 4. Neds Call Out. You guys remember Ned, right? Ned Ryerson? Bing? No? Of course not. And neither does Phil. But Ned doesn't really stop at the introduction, even when being given clear signals that Phil doesn't want to talk to him. What can we say? His chances of captivating Phil are constantly receding. And that's not all. He decides to even follow Phil after he was clearly trying to evade Ned. It's when Phil finally departs from Ned that his first step ends up being a really clumsy one, prompting Ned to be even more annoying.
Watch out for that first step, it's a doozy!
Number 3. Improved man. Having all the time in the world at his disposal, Phil seems to have used it all on bettering himself, investing his endless time in doing things like learning to play the piano, ice sculpting, and being more helpful towards others. Maybe a bit too much of that last one, since even Ned is beginning to look the other way. But maybe that was actually done on purpose now that I think about it. Number 2, I'm a god. Bold statement for an everyday weatherman to make, but this guy's been through it all.
I wasn't just blown up yesterday. I have been stabbed, shot, poisoned, frozen, hung, electrocuted, and burned.
Oh, really?
Phil tries to convince Rita he's a god by proving how much he knows about complete strangers, listing everything from their names, their lifelong wishes, and their deepest secrets. Still not being convinced, Rita proceeds to ask him how he knows all these people and that him being a god is just not possible. But Phil goes even further by predicting things that are about to take place.
4, 3, 2, 1. Okay?
Number 1, Snowmoor repeats. We're sorry for that cheesy name, but it's true. One of our favorite moments was simply the moment Phil sees snow for the first time in what could be years. After carving a snow sculpture of Rita's face and buying all of Ned's available insurance in one day, the cycle finally broke, leaving Phil, Rita, and everyone he's ever interacted with impacted for the better thanks to Phil's overall effort to do good throughout the loop. It was then that Phil was finally able to move on and change his entire life in the span of a single day. Those may be our picks for the top 10 Groundhog Day moments, but what do you think? Did you enjoy our list? Which moments were your favorite? Share them with us in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe to 90s Nostalgia so you can keep up with our wide array of countdowns regarding everything 90s. That's all for now. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch y'all next time.